All right, welcome back, everyone. It is another edition of Ask the County. Joining us this morning, we have Saginaw County Treasurer Tim Novak. Tim, always good to see you. How are you?
Good morning. The sun's shining. It's another fantastic day.
Exactly. I love your outlook. Okay, so today's topic is actually a viewer question that we got. Kimberly Hall wants to know, with the mayor's push to demolish the former fairgrounds, what is being done about the hotels along I-75? So this question sparked our curiosity, Tim, about the process of demolishing buildings. And first, we want you to address the question and specific buildings that she may be talking about.
So I'm assuming she's talking about the buildings that are out in Buena Vista along I-75, when kind of the outer drive corridor there, M46 and outer drive. So there's quite a few number of like old hotels and stuff out there, and so Buena Vista has done a job. They've kind of really targeted their DDA and the township really targeted cleaning up that area.
Yeah.
They got rid of the old mall. There was an old hotel that tax foreclosed that was demolished by the township across the street, kind of kitty corner from the one we're talking about. Right. And so if you drive through there, you can see kind of the benefits of their cleaning up. In particular, the latest one is the old Welcome Inn on the corner of Outer and M46. You can see it there. So that's kind of the current target.
Okay.
It tax foreclosed in April, so then it became property of the Saginaw County Treasurer in April. It was offered at the public auction. Buena Vista's DDA decided to kind of intervene. Property ownership, which you can talk about, is one significant, important piece when trying to, how do we clean stuff up?
Okay.
So Buena Vista DDA moved in. They purchased it at the public auction. And so the DDA and the Saginaw County Land Bank are kind of working together to secure some funding that we can tear down the building there and clean it up. It's loaded with asbestos, and it's unattractive and it's dangerous, and it's not a good piece there. So we're working on it though.
Okay, that is good news. And sounds like there may be challenges to demolishing old buildings. So what is the biggest one, do you think?
So I think the biggest challenge is funding is kind of the first thing. Like, how much does it cost? And commercial funding is a problem. We always heard about a lot of the demolition funding that's been available in the past. Commercial funding, we always kind of cry out to the state and to Congress, folks like this, if you could give us some commercial funding.
Right.
That's always an issue and a challenge. A lot of this is for residential. When the grant funding we've gotten has been targeted for residential. That and then ownership of the property. Who owns it? If the county doesn't own it or a township doesn't own it, and then you're left to code enforcement. So if it's privately owned, then you're left to code enforcement.
Right.
And so those are kind of kind of a dual challenge in regards to how do you clean up a lot of the blight.
Gotcha. This is quite the process for sure.
It really is.
Yeah, but thanks for spelling it out for all of us. And can you explain the process of selecting? How do you select which properties to demolish?
Yep. So the land bank we get our properties through property tax foreclosure. Usually by the time we get them, they're not in the world's greatest shape. We do sell properties, but we do go through the list and kind of make sure, okay, so things we consider, what are the funding sources available? How much money do we have every year to demolish? Is there grant funding available? The land bank has general fund money. There's, like, say, the city, for instance, has riverfront money that they can use. So we'll contact local municipalities and say, what money do you have? Can we pool our money together, or a partnership, along with Buena Vista and Bridgeport, all these other ones, and work together. That's the first piece. Second piece, is it a danger or threat to safety? Are there numerous police calls here? Is it in jeopardy of falling into the street, for instance, or in a neighbor's house?
Okay.
How many years has it been in our inventory? We do consider the fact, how long has it been in a neighborhood where it's been blighted? Is it in a neighborhood that is still in pretty good shape? Or is the houses next door good? We are kind of sensitive to the neighborhood that's in a nice thing. And then kind of the fifth thing is, there's some sort of strategic value. Is it historic? Is it on a flyway, we call them, or kind of a main street?
Okay.
Is it near a school or another project? Those kinds of things. You kind of weigh all of those things out, and not one or the other has any more significance other than maybe the funding piece.
Right.
But we kind of weigh all those things out when we do. And we can't tear them all down, right? And it's kind of, and I know it's frustrating for folks that live in a neighborhood and they're seeing it and they're staring at it.
Yeah.
We've done stories, we've gone out and we'll be in the neighborhood like, well, the land bank owns that one, but we don't own the other three that are around it. I mean, it's You know, it's a long-standing challenge.
But work is getting done.
And it's improving. It's really, I mean, if you look in the neighborhoods, things are improving. Our tax sales, the houses are going for more money than they've ever gone for when we hit the tax sale, which I think is because the neighborhoods are showing signs of improvement. Foreclosures are down. I think there's been help with funding for people to pay property taxes, but I think there's also been an incentive for folks to fix their houses up and stay in them and, you know.
Yeah, build it up.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to always grasp that big picture, but you know, we're working on it.
That's
we are
right.
sensitive. Nobody likes to live next to a blighted property. We don't like to, you know, we want the land bank and we want to make sure that we're doing our best, and you know, we can always find that one thing that we can do better and work
Absolutely.
on it.
Well, speaking of the land bank, for those who don't know, just a brief overview of what it does.
Yeah, kind of real, you know, in short, it's kind of the property management arm of the Treasurer's Office, I kind of call it.
Okay.
So Congressman Dan Kildee was his brainchild back in Genesee County when he was the treasurer. What do you do with all these vacant, blighted properties after the automobile industry kind of went out? And so the state has a land bank. We kind of sort of chartered these, give authority to locals to have that same ability to kind of bundle properties together.
Yeah.
That's kind of the key, this bundle them together. We can sell them for redevelopment. We can hold on to them. We can develop them ourselves as land banks. We have the ability to bond and other things. So it's just a tool to kind of cut through some of the red tape and hold. And so that's where you'll kind of see for the folks that hear about the land bank all the time. That's kind of what it is.
Okay. Well, very informative.
Yeah.
I know I learned a lot, so I know people at home did too. So thanks, Tim, for coming in and explaining this process.
And they can always call or email the office as well if they have any questions. Folks are always available to kind of answer all this stuff.
All right, very good. And of course, if you have any more questions that you would like to ask the county, just send them to us at WNEM@WNEM.com. Make sure you stick with us. John has your forecast.